Now let's look at some of the more advanced features of Scribbler. Say we've got a question where we need to draw a graph. We can toggle graph paper on by clicking this button. Using the line tool, we can make axes, to say in this example we're going to have y is equal to x plus 3, so something like this, and you can change the colour of the graph. Now that was a fairly simple graph, but say you've got something a bit more complicated. Here you can use the Wolfram alpha function to your advantage. So click on this button on the end and enter the equation into this box, y is equal to x plus 3. Hit submit and it will generate a graph for you. Now say we want to calculate the area underneath this graph. So let's calculate it between, let's say, 1 and 4. Now instead of trying to write out an integral, you can use the Latex function. To do this, click on this button. This is essentially a language which allows you to type out mathematical equations. So it takes a bit of getting used to, but once you're used to it, it's very powerful. So in this case, we want the integral between 1 and 4 of the function x plus 3, and we would be integrating with respect to x. Now click add and it pops up on the whiteboard. This is quite powerful in that you could create a few slides full of these examples and typed up really neatly. Say we make a mistake and we shade in the wrong part of the graph which we're after. Okay, instead of having to click on each one of those and hit delete, you can just hit the undo button. And similarly there's the redo button. So say you've created this fantastic resource for your student, a lot of information all on one screen, and you want to preserve that. You can use the take a snapshot function, which is this camera. This takes a picture of the screen and uploads it to your assets. From here your student is able to download this file. Say you've made a mess of the page and you need to clear it all, you can click on the clear this page. So that's the one with a single page. But once you've done this, you can't click undo. So generally we advise against this. There's no need to delete a page, you can just move on to a new one. Similarly, if you want to clear all the pages, say you've uploaded the wrong file, you can click on clear all pages. So just a few more features to round everything up. Fairly important, up here is a pointer icon. Now a student also has one of these. So instead of trying to gesture at the screen, you can point exactly to, okay, let's do this integral. This zoom feature isn't really too important, this just affects your view of the screen. It doesn't affect what the student sees as well. So the student can change theirs if they're having problems seeing everything, but generally we leave it as it is. The toolbar on the right hand side is fairly self-explanatory, and if you have a play with it you'll get used to the different features. So one thing that I'd like to point out is this wedge shape. So if we click on this, this draws us a section of a circle. You can determine the size of the angle of the circle by clicking and moving this slider. So we put it on about 260 degrees, it will give us a circle just short of 3/4. Again, if you slide it down to about 60 degrees, it gives us a 60-degree wedge. So this is fantastic for talking about angles and things like that. One final tool is the ability to flip your shapes. So if we click on this wedge and we click on these two triangles, we can flip the wedge horizontally. Similarly, the triangles next to it allow you to flip it vertically. Okay, so quite a lot of information there. The best way to get to grips with Scribbler is just by playing around with it. Have fun.